There you go.
Great, now we'll start the meeting. And any changes or additions to the agenda from anyone? Nope. We need a motion to approve the minutes of March 19th, if from someone who was present for that meeting.
I move that we approve them as written.
Second.
Any questions about the minutes or all okay? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
No, nobody opposed. Minutes, okay?
I will pass them for signature.
Okay.
NA means you weren't here, so don't sign.
Thank you. So I'll open the hearing now officially and welcome, I want to get your name correctly, Bonnie May, just Bonnie May.
I wish I could run, if it was quicker, I'd run back.
No, you're fine.
Because acoustically, it's difficult for me.
Can you hear?
In the hearing is.
Can LeMay, can you hear me?
It's difficult.
Speak louder. Is it
Do
loud?
you wanna come-
Volume?
do you wanna
wanna
come closer?
Would that help?
Pardon me?
Do you want to come closer? We move the
How
table.
do I do that?
We will help you.
We'll bring the mic up, bring your mic up, bring your chair right around.
Oh, good. Good idea. We don't need the
And
table.
just bring my chair up. As long as you can do that.
Sure.
You were here. It wasn't late. You were here.
And ran off in a hurry because I was trying to find more information about the chimney home thing, but.
Okay. So I'm going to state your name, which is Bonnie LeMay, correct? And the location of the property is House Loop. And the parcel number is 00CHA 128 000. So I'm going to ask you to take the following oath. Under the pain and penalties of perjury, do you solemnly swear that the evidence you give in the cause under consideration shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Any board members have any conflict of interest or ex parte communications with the appellant?
Negative.
No?
No.
Okay, thank you. Did you receive a copy of the board's rules of procedures?
Yes, I do.
Did you have any questions about how it'll proceed?
Only that I didn't know if I should have supplied more information, but somewhere I have a document from the realtor regarding something. And I looked into seeing what the specific problem is, and I haven't gotten very far because people didn't call me back. And they told me it was a waste water commission, and that only an engineer would be able to answer some of my questions. And
Okay,
kind of a wild question.
so it sounds like you read the rules of procedure, so we'll proceed. And we're going to ask you to identify the statutory abatement category that your request is being made under. And there was a list of categories that I don't know you identified on your application. You're falling under the statutory criteria of taxes or charges of persons who are unable to pay their taxes, charges, interest, and or collection fees. Does that sound right? That's what we have that you checked on your application form. Okay,
There was
so,
only one category that seemed to be appropriate.
so now is the opportunity for you to explain what you're asking for. And you did give us a lot of information.
It seems, as far as not making that lot at all sellable or buildable, whether I were somebody who were going to keep it or whatever, right now it is apparently still kind of useless. And I've been dealing with many, I've been juggling a three-ring circus of all sorts of issues and problems and expenses, and it's been very, very difficult. And so I more recently tried to see if that situation may have changed. It has not. And they told me certain things that there might be in the future if and I think you have the information there. I have a probate during ongoing probate issue in Connecticut, in the probate court, that my attorneys are trying to remove a toxic trustee from the situation, or dissolve the trust, or provide another person to take her place. What we don't know. It will be one of those. We are prepared for any of them, but it's expensive and it's taking all my resources to keep this going, and because it isn't ending yet. And it's going on to the third hearing for this now, which will be May 1st. And I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but there's been some developments in between that, so he has questions. There's a lot of questionable stuff that he has to bring up, so it may bring a whole nother topic on board, which might delay the process further. So in lieu of that, I am speculating that if those resources are freed up, but I don't know when, that I might be able to take advantage of one of the options that Jimmy Hill has, in which you can buy another small useless parcel of land that's somehow connected with your lot, the owner's lot. And I guess they call it a junk lot or something. He used that term. In order to, and then the testing would be done. So it would be parcel with, the owner would have to purchase. And this is what I didn't want to be purchasing anything, but if I had the funds available, I could conceivably in the future purchase that. Then then you do the testing, which is all this stuff that's very expensive apparently. And then it would be a double lot, and then I would sell it. But that is just, I don't know exactly when I'd be able to do that. Certainly I can't do it right now. I can give it back to you, and whatever, but I prefer not to do that. I was very disappointed and surprised when it fell through, because twice a year ago, and that, although it's not an extremely valuable piece of property, it would have helped take care of many of my financial obligations that I haven't been able to handle well since this piece fell through. So I had to prioritize, and I've had to be away from Vermont and Connecticut, and I've also been in Brattleboro a lot too, staying there. So I've been bopping around, and it's been very disconcerting, and it's prevented me from taking care of a lot of things. The financial aspect has been difficult to deal with on all ends.
So is this lot connected with the probate matter?
No, this lot has nothing to do with probate. Nothing in Vermont has anything to do
Okay.
with probate. It's strictly, the reason I have to have a Connecticut attorney is because it started in Connecticut, and it's in Connecticut, but I don't have to, I don't have to be living in Connecticut to take care of it. I just have to have an attorney who's licensed in Connecticut.
Thank you.
And it took me 2 years to find the right ones, because in my search in the beginning, I didn't know what I was looking for or needing.
Can I
And
just
then
ask-
some of them got COVID, and all kinds of things happened. But anyway, I have good attorneys now, so.
You had a
I
question?
just had a
Nikki?
follow-up on
Sure.
that one.
So I'm hopeful this will be cleared up. We're all, I'm on the right side of it. It's just that we're dealing with a very aggravating situation.
Right. Sounds
It doesn't want to budge.
So-
easily.
The reason that you brought it up is that would be a possibility of getting some
That would be a
money.
possibility.
Okay,
And
I just
only
wanted
recently
to find
learned the
out why.
details of that, and I
Okay.
thought, well, it's conceivable that I could do something like that,
Mhm.
because I would have I'd be in a much better position to invest a little bit in order to keep it, and sell it. So then I could catch up on everything, but that is still in the air.
Right. But that was why you've mentioned and talked about it, is that it might present a possibility of some income.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I spoke in more depth. I had heard about this previously, but I was not informed correctly about it.
Mhm.
And so I got more of the details from a better source this time.
Thank you. Other questions from the board?
My name's Tony. I have a quick question for you, please.
I'm sorry, but I
I'm
know
sorry,
you-
my name is Tony. Can you hear me now? That's fine. How long have you owned the property, please?
Oh, my mother bought it when I was quite a young child when Chimney Hill first started, so that would.
In the 60s?
That would have been whenever was that?
1960s?
Late 60s.
Late 60s?
70 maybe, probably late 60s.
So you've had that property since, or been in
And my
your
mother had
family?
it and then I inherited it. And she never built on it. I wish that I had the sense, whatever, to think of building a small thing on it maybe earlier on when maybe I could have, but I don't know. And then I would probably have sold it because I had no desire to live in Chimney Hill because it's an association and I'm an artist and I would like to be able to have a studio galleries in my home so that people, and they don't allow
All right.
any kind of thing like that.
Thank you very much.
So another, I guess, related
So,
question.
but I specifically, personally, owned it since 2010. My mother passed away and her estate was final in 2011.
Got it.
That's when I technically became.
That's fine. Thank you.
So just as to why you were unable to sell it, did you have it soil tested?
I've had it on,
Okay.
I had the preliminary testing done some years ago because I wanted to sell it sometime between 2010, 11 and now. And I had it on the market probably 3 different times with different realtors. Nothing happened. I had it with Chimney Hill Realty as well, and nothing happened over in those times. I had, it was Merle Mundell who did the testing. And then more recently, Patrice Schneider was my realtor, and she had several offers, and there were, excuse me. I remember that both of the last 2 were very definite purchasing it. However, the first one of those last year, she bowed out. I think it was a woman, but they bowed out. They had a misunderstanding with Merle Mondell because they had also, I think, looked into that. Is that an engineer? Or
Yes, he's a soil engineer.
That particular, those people to do it. And I don't know the details, and neither did the realtor, but there was some difficulty, and so that person bowed out, and then these other people that were anxious to buy it, he bowed out at the very last minute, like the day before the closing, which was May something of last year. And
did you have a?
and then she took it off the market because she said it's not.
Did
you
you
can get anywhere with it?
Was there a wastewater permit given for the lot? Because that's the next step.
It was, that would have been the next step, I
Okay.
guess, and nobody could get it from it. I don't know that, I can only tell you what I was told, what my realtor was told, that there was somebody in the state of Vermont under that commission, I guess, that whenever she was a woman, whenever she received a document with this similar situation, she just put them in a stack and do anything with them. So I didn't know what to do about it.
Right.
Chimney Hill suggested I try to just hang on to it and the rules would change. Well, now it's been a year and I've had all kinds of things and financial problems because the legal thing started and I still have it. And, you know, I can't believe a whole year went by with that, but, or just about. I don't remember in May when it was, but it might have been the end of May, but.
Any other?
Yeah, I have some questions. So the issue is that, I just wanted to see if I'm right on this. The issue is that you can't get a wastewater permit, so you can't build a house on it.
That is my
Is that your
understanding,
understanding?
and I'm not the one really looking for it. The buyers were taking care of that on their part. So we reduced the price because the buyers were going to take care of whatever further testing was needed beyond what I had done.
And I did look at a map today, and I think I found the right one. Is your property right at, I think it's Guinea Brook, it's right on the corner.
Yeah, I haven't frequently seen it. I had to find it when driving around with, over the years, we've found, oh, that must be it. And I've seen it on a map, and
Right.
yes, it is.
Okay.
And it's actually, I was told for the longest time that it was a decent lot. It was because it was larger than some
Yeah.
of the original very small lots
Right.
with places really close together. So I thought, well, it's a desirable location,
Mhm.
and it was until this.
Till
So,
this, yeah.
yeah.
And then I just have some questions. I didn't see anywhere on the application as to what, what the amount for taxes is that you have not paid.
What they asked, what.
Yeah,
was
I mean,
being- Oh,
did you pay, for instance, did you pay last September?
pardon.
Did you pay any taxes last September or maybe?
I had a payment, yes, I believe I did, but I lapsed, I was making a payment and then I got caught up in the other things and overwhelmed and I started to realize I was getting, I knew I would have to take care of it, but it went on for a while. I had to be in Connecticut, for about a month or so and things got out of, wasn't taking care of things up here properly because of that. But, and I also intended to make it a payment arrangement now as well, but I didn't get back into town to go to the office. But I think she said that I could wait and see what happened here today too, if I wanted to, so.
Christine, can you give us some, do you know what the total taxes and?
I did not think to grab that before I came in what the total
Okay.
amount is.
Yeah,
I know
intended
it's,
to
I know
come
it's
in and
all
I
of
wasn't able to
24.
get here, so.
Yeah, I know it's
All of
all of
24.
24, which is the current year, and I believe it's majority of 23 is owed at this point.
Oh, so some of 20, no, all of 20. So the 24 would be $551.60.
Plus
Plus
penalties
interest
and
and-
Plus,
interest.
right, but I mean for the tax part.
Yeah,
And then, so because if an abatement was granted, don't we need to know exact numbers?
you can word it so that it's whatever is owed as of
Yeah.
today.
Okay,
We've done that before.
so it's 551.60 plus probably some of 23, and then penalty and interest from that. Is that right? There'd be
Yes.
penalties and interest from that. Okay. So it's over, so it's well over $1,000.
I
Oh,
would say
well,
most likely,
got it.
yes.
Okay. And then I had a question on your, you said in a monthly estimate on your expenses and things?
That was difficult to do.
Yeah.
It's really, I
I-
messed up the paperwork considerably trying to figure things out, which
Well, but I was interested, let me just find it here. She says, it's in my file, oh, there it is. At the bottom, it has Raymond James.
oh, yes.
And could you
that is
talk about
like-
that?
That in a sense is my life savings,
Okay.
that I'm now spending that I should not be spending. And it was a lot more, and it's scary.
Yeah.
Because of,
Okay.
it's being, and I have money that's being held by the attorneys as their,
Right,
client deposit
Retainer,
account,
yes.
whatever, and I have to keep replenishing it, and I never know when I'm going to get an invoice, but.
okay.
May I ask another question, please?
Sure.
Oh,
Right,
yes,
that's
of
fine.
course.
Roll on over.
Yeah, roll on down.
So, if you don't mind me asking, and you let me know if I'm inappropriate, please. What are your future plans
Well,
with the property,
with
please?
the property, do not desire to keep it. My plans have, my desire has always been to sell it.
Okay,
And I don't know if I would have been, I don't know if it would have been sensible for me to build a house there and then sell it, but I can't do that right now anyway. I'm not in a position to do that, so I wouldn't desire to do that.
is your plan to sell it in excess of the property taxes that are due, or pretty much break even and walk away? Does that make sense to you, that question? If, my question is, if you're able to sell the property as is, where is, are you just looking to cover the outstanding debt that you owe the town of Wilmington? Or do you have a higher number in your mind?
Oh.
Ballpark,
well,
I don't need to know the exact.
Originally, I would have preferred to not owe the town of Wilmington and then just sell it and get whatever the realtor
market will
had
bear.
agreed to, yeah.
Okay.
yeah. That would be the preferred.
Sure,
Sorry, Tony.
no, that's fine.
Go ahead.
No, that's it. You know,
Okay.
if you abandon the property,
Oh, I understand.
you know,
what
you
you're
have
saying.
choices. You have lots of choices, I believe.
Right.
You can abandon the property to Chimney Hill. You can abandon the property to the town of Wilmington. You can pay the debt. You have options. And
Yeah.
I'm just wondering what your options.
Well, you see, I also have that with the house fire in Dover. And I'm thinking that would be, see, I'm dealing with that as well. And it was a very sad
Sorry.
scenario.
Yep.
My ex-husband perished in a house fire, and that's why I don't have it. Anyway, I wasn't going to keep that small property either. I loved it all my life. We had, it's our second home, and I thought that I could use it for a while I was, looking around here and stuff. And also maybe leave a few things there, but it's a difficult location there. That's a whole nother scenario. But I spoke with some people today who thought maybe it would be best to just let it go because it's going to be to clean that destruction site, which it is now,
Yeah.
up, is going to be tremendous because it's an awkward place. There's a brook it's across a brook, and wouldn't it take a lot to bring equipment in there to do that, or no?
Have to build a bridge, don't you?
No, well, if they could build a bridge across it, but that would be, somebody would want it very much and
That
be
would
able
definitely be
to build a bridge, to do all that, I don't know.
Thank you.
Do
My
you
question.
also owe
So,
Chimney Hill?
I'm sorry.
Do you also owe Chimney Hill? Are you in arrears on the HOA fees? For the lot.
Yes, right now I do.
Okay.
I kept it up until sometime within the last year. Because I was still able to use the clubhouse, for
Right.
a while. But I'm kind of became disenchanted with Chimney Hill overall. Anyway, it's not where I want to live. I do have a friend who lives up there, but she's been there forever.
Right.
But
No, just trying to
for my
determine.
purposes, it's
Right.
not the best location, and all they have that the rules of an association might not, be conducive to year-round living. So.
Okay, thank you. I was just trying to determine that those have been paid, because those are about $1,000 a year.
Pardon me?
The dues are about $1,000 a year,
Yes.
correct? Yeah.
Well, I don't have a house, so.
Oh, right,
If you don't have a house,
right.
it's a little
Little
less. It's
less,
like 800
yeah.
instead.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah.
It depends on, if you don't have a house. it's-
Right, I understand. Yeah. Any other questions from
I do.
Charlie? Hold on just a minute. Charlie, John, Tom, anybody? Questions?
No, I'm good.
Okay, go ahead, Bon.
So this is more of a general question, and I think I read it somewhere, and if I am remembering it incorrectly, please correct me. But I read somewhere that if we abate this, in other words, we vote in that thing, that the town still has to pay the school portion in full to the state. So that means if we give it up, the town is not getting any money, and we have to make it whole out of our coffers. I read that correctly?
Right.
Okay.
Other questions? Anybody? Tony, good? Nikki? Is there anything else?
No.
I think that's it then. Do you have any other questions for us?
I don't think so. I just, it's been frustrating
I'm sure.
part of
Yeah.
all the whole picture.
Right.
And my hope was that just maybe I could, whatever I could do, so, because until I found out about some of the options, of
Mhm.
course, I just thought, it can't be used. And it's a
Right.
parcel that I was told was buildable, and now I'm told it's not buildable, and
It sounds
it's
like,
frustrating to have it as a burden.
right.
To be paying
understand.
taxes on something so any little bit that, they help, really, that's all.
So I think I'll close the hearing, if you no other questions. And what we're gonna do is we will, after you leave, we will deliberate. And after you have left, we will talk about it
Oh, okay.
and make a decision
Oh, all
today.
right. So you don't
And then-
decide right now, you just,
We need to
Hear
talk
the
about it.
discussion.
Yeah, we
Okay.
want to hear what you had for evidence and
All right.
read it all. And thank you for coming
is it
in.
advisable to make a payment plan as I was going to, or should
I
I
would-
wait till your decision?
Well, you can wait, but I think we
It would-
know that payment plans are a good option for
Okay.
people
I
as
don't
a
know
way
if I
to
can do that
avoid.
today, or,
I have to stay for the meeting, but if you want to get in touch tomorrow, then we can talk.
Because that is an option.
Pardon?
That is an option. So, great. Well, we will be in
Okay,
touch
I'll
after we've
put this
made a
back over
decision.
here
Yeah.
and-
yeah.
I'm sorry, but.
Yeah,
you know,
no, it's hard to hear in this
I had Lyme
room.
disease 4
Uh,
times.
Yeah,
And yeah, I don't have any of the symptoms when I'm in Vermont. That's
Oh, that's
another
good.
plus for Vermont.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I became really desensitized, oversensitized, and maybe even allergic to something in the environment where I was living in
Right.
Connecticut. And also the stress of dealing with that person
Sure.
that I'm now.
Right,
Yeah,
sounds
That was
like
part
it.
of it too. It brought me